Hello and welcome. My name is Ara Shona, and today I will be providing you a short tutorial on the program NeoFly. NeoFly is a companion app for Microsoft Simulator 2020. NeoFly offers a campaign mode to the simulator, so in NeoFly you'll be able to earn experience points by flying various different mission types. The missions offered in NeoFly are unique and all a lot of fun to fly. There are also qualification missions within NeoFly. Flying those will allow you to fly the different aircraft type within NeoFly. NeoFly also offers a complete market system. You'll be able to purchase goods at one airport and sell them for a profit at another. This is a great way to fill empty cargo space while flying missions. If you need help earning money, there are other ways that you can do that as well, such as hiring AI pilots. Those will allow you to fly planes that your pilot is currently not flying. You purchase your own planes in NeoFly, so that could be additional planes you have, or it could even be the only plane that you have. The only caution there is to know that the location for the aircraft are tracked separately than your pilot. So you need to make sure that you have a plane for your pilot to fly. Also in NeoFly, once a day, an exploration point spawns. If you can find the wreck near that exploration point, lost gold will be yours. There are other things in NeoFly as well, such as fixed base operators and other things, but we won't go into too much of that because today I'm just looking to keep it simple. I want you to experience what your first flight in NeoFly might look like. So for today, we are going to fly in Egypt. So if we take a look here at NeoFly, you will see we have a good number of missions all around the airport. Our pilot is currently at HEAZ. And we also have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And we're sitting cold and dark on the runway. Normally I go to parking, but for expediency, we're just sitting on the runway just so I can show you exactly how NeoFly works here. And we are going to do a short flight. Now the flight we're going to do a cargo mission. A cargo mission is a basic mission that you can do straight away in NeoFly. You boot up NeoFly, that's one of the missions you can do right from the get-go. So, if we look at the map here, we see we have a lot of different icons and missions on there. How do we declutter that? Well, first of all, let's take a look over at our list. We have some filters. Up here we have our distance filter. Well, we're set for 0 to 50 nautical miles, and that's fine. We'll just leave it at that because we want a short flight. We don't want anything long. We also have type. We can actually whittle this down by using these filters. So let's go ahead and turn off the other types. We don't need humanitarian or airlines or interception where you got to locate an aircraft in flight or search and rescue or take tourists for pictures, all kinds of different stuff here. Find land and drop zones for emergency missions, VIP missions. You can't bank the plane or pitch the plane too much. Sensitive cargo, if you land too hard, you'll fail the mission. A lot of different challenging things, but we just want a basic cargo mission. And there we have it. We have this now whittled down to cargo missions. So which one should we fly? Let's fly something really, really simple. Let's fly here. So if we click on it, that will highlight that mission over here in the list. If we click on something else, it'll highlight that one. And you can also sort. Here, since we whittled it down, it doesn't matter so much, but we could actually sort it by, say, the flight plan, and that'll organize them that way. But for now, we're going to go here. We're going to fly from HEAZ to HECA. And there's our flight. And you'll notice in the list we have other things such as direction and cargo. And notice it's 200 pounds of cargo, which our plane can easily handle, because we are going to be flying a Cessna 172 today. And we're flying the model with the G1000 GPS unit in it. So now that we have actually decided on the mission, how do we actually fly this mission? Well, first thing we need to do is tell NeoFly that's what we want to fly, and you do that by right-clicking on the mission. That will bring up different options. You can rent planes. This is for AI. Notice we do have a couple of different aircraft here at this airport. Multiple missions, which we're not going to get into today, or just simply fly. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to fly. That brings us to the flying tab. Now you will notice on the flying tab that we've got several different areas. So let's go through these because some of these are really important. Briefing is just simply a summary of what we looked at on the missions tab. Cargo, how much? Cargo's the type, how much, number of passengers. Notice that is 0 because this is not a passenger mission. Connection status. NeoFly uses SimConnect to talk to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this information here is what the simulator is sending to NeoFly. So we haven't connected yet, so it's not getting anything, but we will need all of these LEDs to go from red to green in order to kick off NeoFly and get our flight going. So, and we will go through these as we do that. This category here is aircraft. This is the aircraft we are telling NeoFly we are in. It's not what it's reading from the simulator. That's up here, as we will see here in a minute. But notice I have 2 aircraft to choose from. I actually own 2 different aircraft that are sitting at this airport, a TBM and the Skyhawk. I know we're going to fly the Skyhawk, but let's set it on the TBM just so you can see what happens on a mismatch. This area is your mission log, and this basically tells you the current status of your flight. It's currently, we haven't connected, we haven't done anything yet, so there's nothing going yet. This is from something else. That'll all reset. And then stacked missions are for multiple missions, but we're not going to look at that today. We'll save that for another time. So let's double check our plane. And there we are sitting on the runway, HEAZ. So let's go ahead and connect and fly and see what we get. Well, we didn't match across the board. For starters, we do have good connection, but our aircraft is wrong. Well, that's because in the simulator, we're sitting in a Skyhawk 172 with the G1000. And sure enough, that's what we're sitting in. We're not sitting in a TBM. But NeoFly, we've told NeoFly to expect a TBM. So that's a problem. So there are 2 different ways you can fix it. You can either, you'll want to exit the mission, and then either way, you'll either change the plane in the simulator or change the plane in NeoFly. If you really want to be flying the TBM, then you'll need to go back into the simulator and load up in the TBM. In this case, we want the 172, so we need to tell NeoFly, no, we want the 172. So we'll end our mission. Yes, we're sure we want to quit it. And we'll restart our mission here. And fly. And this time, rather than selecting the TBM, it does happens in this case, it happens to default that that's what we want. So let's hit connect and fly now. And the aircraft is happy because it's in the 172 in both places. Very good. The only thing we don't have is our motor isn't on. Our parking brake is in fact set. Qualification is A, and this isn't qualification A aircraft, which you start NeoFly with that qualification, no problem there. Is again, this is exactly like your first mission would be. Payload doesn't match. We'll take a close look at that here in a second. But also passengers. Passengers is fine, but the thing to know about passengers, and this sometimes throws people, is this is checking to make sure that your plane can handle the number of passengers for the mission. In this case, 0 passengers, well, of course, it can handle that. But if we were doing a passenger mission with, say, 50 passengers, and we tried to do the flight in the Cessna 172, that's not going to work. And this would be red because that plane would not be able to handle that number of passengers. So payload. How do we fix the payload? Well, We took a cargo mission of 200 pounds, all right? In Microsoft Flight Simulator, we currently have 340 pounds. Well, you think, wait a minute, that should work. But it's expecting 370. Why is it expecting 370 and not 200? That's because NeoFly assumes a pilot weight of 170 pounds. So you have to take your cargo weight and you have to add that 170 pounds. That gives you the 370. Also bear in mind, there could be goods if you've loaded some market goods. We're not doing that on this flight, so that's 0, but that also figures in. So if we had 50 pounds of goods, we would have to figure that in as well. And that would give us 420 pounds due. But in this case, no goods. 200 for cargo plus 170 for the pilot gives us 370. So how do we fix this? We fix this in the simulator. Notice, 340 pounds is what we currently have loaded. And let's check that out, and we'll see exactly where that 340 comes from. Okay, here in the simulator, you'll want to pull up your fuel menu. From the fuel menu, you'll notice the pilot weighs 170, and the co-pilot seat, there's 170 pounds. So we have 340 pounds, 170 and 170. We need to add an additional 30 pounds to get up to 370. So we will simply put 15 pounds in each of the back seats, and you will see that the dispatcher will then greet us. If we quickly, before I put the last 15 in, if we quickly take a look at NeoFly, you'll notice that it's figured that in already. It's now up to 355. We need 15 more. So let's put the last 15 in, and she should greet us.
Transporter from dispatch. I see you asked for a cargo mission. The ground crew is waiting you on the parking to load the crates.
There we go. We now have our cargo correct. And sure enough, it's all the payload has now gone green. Current payload is as expected, 370, and the mission log. Mission status is now changed to waiting for the engine to start. And as soon as we do that, the dispatcher will let us know, and we will hear cargo being loaded. So let's go ahead and fire up our plane. There we go.
Transporter, loading has started. Stand by.
And all our goods are being loaded. And you will see again that we are now in the loading boarding status. While that loads, I will also note that the map here is an active map. You will actually see your plane's position on the map as you fly. And you'll actually be able to see that down here in the lower right-hand corner here where I've got NeoFly. You'll actually be able to see that in action.
Transporter, loading is complete. Let's go.
Okay, very good. We are now ready to take off, and we are ready to fly to HECA. And this will not be a very long flight at all. But the idea is for you to see and hear what NeoFly is doing. All right, so let's go ahead and take off. Alrighty. Try to keep her centered here. And rotate.
Transporter, good flight.
If we were to check NeoFly right now, we would actually see that our status is in the air, that we've taken off. And let's head to HECA. And for this flight, I'm not even going to bother to raise the flaps, because where we're headed is not far at all. In fact, there it is. There's our destination. Really, really long one. Alrighty, so let's get all set to land here at HECA. And we're a little high, but fix that. Nice long runway, and we're only a 172, so. And here we go. Alrighty. A little bit more flaps. It's the landing cam so we can see what we're doing. And bring her in. And we're now getting in the glide slope. There we go. Now all we need to do is put it on the ground, and NeoFly will register that we've landed at our airport, and we'll be good to go. Let's drop her in here. Flare.
Transporter from dispatch. Nice landing.
Nice landing.
Go to the next parking and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch.
We're just simply going to pull off the runway, and I'm not going to take it all the way to parking. I'm just simply going to. We'll go on this one. Pull off here, and then we'll put the parking brake on, and NeoFly will then recognize that we've had a successful flight. So let's put the parking brake.
Transporter from dispatch. Okay, nice job. Someone is coming to take the cargo. I'll call you when it's done.
Okay, and if we check NeoFly real quick, we will see in our status that we did in fact go through all the different statuses, and we're now unloading, disembarking. We're going to get our bonuses because we landed nice and softly and we didn't bank too much. If NeoFly gives you experience points bonuses for both of those things, flying well basically gets you extra experience. So, and as soon as this is done,
Transporter, the cargo has been delivered. Nice work. Have a nice day.
okay, flight is done. So let's go ahead and shut down the plane. Okay, my Microsoft Flight Simulator's happy. And we'll go back to NeoFly and take a look, and there it is. We got our comfort bonus. That's the comfort bonus has to do with not banking too much and not pitching too much. And we also got the landing bonus. And NeoFly subtracted the fuel because NeoFly does actually track the fuel and set the fuel in your plane in the simulator. So you do have to make sure you fly before you have enough fuel for that flight. I really wasn't worried about it because it was so short. But so that is basically what your first flight in NeoFly will look like. Probably not as short as that one, but that's exactly what you should hear. I mean, there are different sounds that you'll hear for the greetings and so on, but that's how you know you've got a good flight and that everything is going correctly. Those are the things to look for. How to get your payload correct, make sure your passengers are good, make sure you're in the correct plane. As you can see up top, there's a lot of other different things you can dive into when you're ready in NeoFly. Staff is where you take care of your AI and see your own pilot status. Hangars, your planes, fixed base operator, logs of your flights. You can see your money and those sorts of things. But that's it. That's what a basic flight in NeoFly looks like, and those are the things you need to look for. And now you know how to get a good flight going. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you need more help, You can certainly join us in the Discord, and you can find more by checking out NeoFly's website. If you go to www.neofly.net, you will find more, and that will also point you to the Discord. There's a great community in Discord. There are a lot of people in there that are willing to help out and get new pilots going. So thank you for joining me, and happy flying. Take care. Bye.